Welcome to Election 101 in 5, your direct and straight to the point guide on how elections work in Nigeria. I am Samson Itodo. Election 101 in 5 is brought to you by Yiaga Africa with support from the European Union under the EU Supports to Democratic Governance in Nigeria program. This is where we make sense of the law in simple, practical ways for you to understand and use, because in a democracy, what you know can protect you and your vote. So now let's dive straight into it. What happens if a candidate falsifies information in an affidavit? In politics, people make promises and claims all the time. But once those claims are written in an affidavit, they stop being just talk. They become a legal declaration. So what then happens if a candidate lies in a declaration in the document that they submit to INEC? We took this question to the streets, and here is what some Nigerians had to say.
I think so. I'm not a law student, neither am I a political science student, but that doesn't excuse me from, having the knowledge about the political happenings. But that is what I feel.
The law empowers the courts to disqualify the candidates.
See, because if the votes don't count, so how will the people that is going for the election, like the presidents, how will they know that this is the number of people that voted?
Very interesting perspective. The streets never fail. Some people think nothing really happens. Others believe the candidate should be disqualified. But the Electoral Act 2026 is clear on this. Before anyone can contest an election in Nigeria, they must submit an affidavit, which is a sworn statement confirming that they meet all the constitutional requirements for seeking that office. This includes things like age, education qualification, and other eligibility criteria. By signing that document, the candidate is effectively saying this information is true. Now, under Section 29, Sub 5 and 6 of the 2026 Electoral Act, there are consequences for providing false information. If another aspirant who took part in the same primaries has a reason to believe that a candidate submitted false information, they can approach the court and ask for that claim to be examined. If the court finds that the information in the affidavit is false and that it affects the candidate's eligibility, the law empowers the court to disqualify that candidate. That means the person can no longer contest in the election. In some cases, the political party that sponsored the candidate may also be affected. So what does this tell us? It tells us that falsifying information is not a minor issue. A false claim about your qualification or your eligibility can end a political ambition instantly. It also shows that the electoral process has checks in place to ensure that only qualified and truthful candidates make it to the ballot. So for aspirants, just be honest. Verify your documents. Understand that the law has consequences for falsehood. For citizens, democracy is not just about voting. It is about accountability at every stage of the process. So be vigilant and engage the process. And that's Election 101 in 5. If you have questions or topics you would like us to cover, reach out to us through any of the handles displayed on your screen. You can also watch this episode and all other episodes on our YouTube channel at Yiaga 1. Also, join our WhatsApp channel for more election and democracy updates by just searching for Yiaga Africa on your WhatsApp channel tab. As always, remember, democracy is not won only on election day. It is won or lost in the primaries. So stay vigilant and engaged in the process. Thank you for watching. I am Samson Itodo. Goodbye.